The idea that if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing, which is some bullshit. You see, if you're a dude and you find yourself trying to make your idea perfect before you push it off into the world, I want you to think about how annoyed you get when your girlfriend takes forever to get ready to only come out looking basically the same as before she went into the bathroom. Yeah, buddy, you're basically the girlfriend in this situation. And ladies, that perfect man doesn't exist, so push that fucking project out there already. Here's an example. You spend months designing the perfect logo for a business you haven't even launched yet. Perfectionism is a great way to disguise procrastination as preparation.
The wrong we were taught when something like this. You gotta struggle hard and life's a bitch. She threw you as a shovel to dig your own ditch. But looking back at my life, I wouldn't change shit. The world is divided into a billion pieces.
What up? Welcome back to Sundays in the Shadows. I am Mark Sanchez, and today we're talking about that sneaky, soul-sucking force that keeps us from living up to our full potential, the fear of starting. Maybe you've had an idea for a business, a book, a podcast, or a creative project, but it just stays in your head. You hype yourself up, maybe even buy some supplies, and then nothing. You talk yourself out of it. You convince yourself that you need more time, you need more skills, you need more money, you need more confidence. Sound familiar? Yes, I know this game all too well. So today we're breaking it down, why we don't start, where this pattern comes from, and how to finally break free and take action. I'm even going to share a personal story from my past that might explain why I spent so many years keeping my gifts locked away. Here's a little clue. It has something to do with getting in trouble just for being good at something. Yes, imagine that, bitch ass teacher. So if this sounds like you, this episode is for you. So why don't we start? If you've ever had a great idea, but you never acted on it, you are not alone. This is a universal struggle, and it comes down to a few key things. But before we get into that, I want you to think about an idea that you've had either growing up or maybe in the last year or in the last week or so, an idea that you never acted on. I remember growing up, we would invent all kinds of crazy shit. Me, my brother, and my friends and cousins, we would sit around thinking of all kinds of shit that we wish we had that would make life easier or funner. Like, I shit you not, we thought about a 24-hour Chinese food and pizza place that would deliver all through the night so those that were partying would not have to drink and drive. And we would also stop and pick up alcohol on the way and charge an extra fee for that. This was back in 2006. Well, we were all drunk and high most of the time, and the idea would come up and people would say things like, that's a great idea, but come on, man, that shit ain't gonna work. Well, fast forward to today, and who would have thought that you could turn your car into a taxi and someone would order you via app? Oh, and they would also deliver your groceries from anywhere of your choice. You see, these ideas pop up all of the time to anyone and to everyone, but the ones that take action on it, well, you end up hating them later. Fuck you, Trump and Elon. Okay, back to the keys. Now, this is just 3 of them. I'm sure there are a lot more, but I haven't taken the action of learning them all. Or maybe I have, and all I want to do is create more curiosity in you. I don't know. I guess you might have to stick around for a couple more episodes to see if I'm too legit to quit or if I'm just full of shit. Okay, number 1, the fear of failure. The fear of failure is an idea serial killer. In my opinion, if you can overcome just this one barrier alone, you can still fucks with the others and they won't hold you back as much. But if I were you, I still wouldn't fuck with them. You see, the fear of failure will have your head swirling with thoughts like, what if it sucks? What if people judge me? What if I put myself out there and nobody cares? Like Rachel Berry did back in the 3rd grade from a Jonah Elementary. If I didn't put myself out there, maybe her family would have never moved her away. Yeah, I'm sure that was the reason she moved. Maybe that's why I let women come to me, because then I never get rejected. Here's an example. You finally start that YouTube channel, you post your first video, and you hear crickets. Now what? The fear of nobody engaging can be so overwhelming that you never even take that first step. Oh no, I do suck. My dad was right. I should have learned to fix cars. Fuck you, Elon. You didn't get any views because you suck. I'm sure you're very entertaining. That's why your mom used to tell you to shut the fuck up all the time growing up. You most likely didn't get the views because you lack the skills in marketing. So keep making those videos and maybe you can get your mom to comment, shut the fuck up one of these days. Okay, number 2, perfectionism. The idea that if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing, which is some bullshit. You see, If you're a dude and you find yourself trying to make your idea perfect before you push it off into the world, I want you to think about how annoyed you get when your girlfriend takes forever to get ready to only come out looking basically the same as before she went into the bathroom. Yeah, buddy, you're basically the girlfriend in this situation. And ladies, that perfect man doesn't exist, so push that fucking project out there already. Here's an example. You spend months designing the perfect logo for a business you haven't even launched yet. Perfectionism is a great way to disguise procrastination as preparation. Can you imagine wanting to have sex, but you waiting because you wanted to get good at it first? I can't imagine because I did not wait. I embarrassed myself plenty of times, but it felt fucking good, so I don't give a fuck. Not to mention, how are you supposed to learn without actually doing it? Duh. Here's the true story. I didn't start masturbating until after I had sex. Masturbating would have came in handy and I would have been more prepared for sure, but it didn't happen that way. Okay, key number 3 to why you don't take action on your dumbass ideas. JK, that's a bonus reason. Fear of others making fun of you and calling you stupid. Jenny, I might not be a smart man, but I do know what jealousy is. Fucking Forrest Gump. You see, people that make fun of you are just jealous and also have ideas that are gone with the wind. So this key is crucial. Subconscious conditioning, the ways we were taught as kids to not stand out, to not take risks, to play it safe. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. If I come in there and I have to find out I'm going to beat your ass, want me to give you a reason to cry? Whoa. My bad. Those are other conditionings for other episode. I know, I got carried away, but this shadow shit runs deep. So here's an example of that conditioning. Growing up, you were always told not to brag or to show off, so now you hesitate to share your achievements. Your brain learned visibility equals risk, so it keeps you playing small. That one didn't apply to me. When women were around, I turned conceited and cocky AF, and that shit worked. If only I had that confidence with my music and my business. It's funny how the same shadow acts different in different scenarios. This last key is a big one because sometimes the reason we don't start isn't about logic. It's about old wounds that are still running the mother loving show. Let me tell you a story about when I first learned that standing out could be dangerous. When I was in the 3rd grade, my mom dragged us all the way from our small town of Wapato all the way to Seattle. Okay, she didn't literally drag us, but it felt like it. I hated it. I was already sad and struggling to adjust, and then something happened that changed how I saw myself. You see, I've been taught to write cursive in my previous school, and when I started using it at the new school, my teacher lost it. This bitch was hella scary, kind of like the principal from Matilda. She yelled at me in front of everybody and told me I needed to stop because none of the other kids could do it. We don't teach that shit here. That moment was humiliating. I felt like I was in trouble just for being good at something. And to make it worse, my mom came into the school and chewed this teacher out. Fuck with my kid again and I'm gonna beat your ass. I looked at the teacher like, she tells me that shit all the time and she means it. Even though it felt good that my mom had my back, it also sucked because now the new boy has his mom coming into the school to fight his battles for him. Maybe that's why Rachel really moved away. Fucking mom, she's ruining my reputation. Maybe she wasn't doing it to help me, but to make me suffer even more for trying to knock her out the year before my famous left hook. I'm glad we can laugh about it now because back then it wasn't so funny. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about, go take a listen to episode number 5. So that teacher moment, it stuck with me. It made me feel like having a skill meant being singled out. It planted the belief that if I was good at something, it would cause problems. And guess what? That belief followed me for decades. So fast forward to now, I see the shadow popping up all over my life. You see, I've recorded over 20 songs in the last 2 years, and I haven't released a single one. I've had multiple ideas for albums, but I keep convincing myself that they're not ready. I tell myself, I need the perfect title, the perfect concept, the perfect artwork. It's all just self-sabotage. Even with this podcast, I sat on the idea for 2 motherfucking years. I told myself I needed a bigger following, more experience, more knowledge, basically anything to delay actually taking action. And when I finally launched, some of my so-called friends didn't even listen. That stung. And my shadow tried to use that as proof that this shit was a bad idea. But as you can hear or see, I'm still in this bitch. So how do we stop letting our shadow hold us hostage? Here's what's been helping me. Number one, put your ideas on paper. Writing them down makes them feel real and tangible. If you don't write them down, they stay as vague dreams in your head. Think of it as taking the first step towards reality. Number two, talk it out with someone you trust. Find a friend, a coach, or even ChatGPT. Saying it out loud removes some of the fear. Ever notice how something sounds way less scary when you say it out loud? It's like shining a light in those dark corners of your mind. Number three, accept that you won't get it right the first time. Done is better than perfect, and progress over perfection any day. If you wait until it's perfect, you'll never start. Think of it like riding a bike. You wobbled and crashed at first, but now you don't even think about it. So let's take a recap. We don't start because of fear, perfectionism, and old conditioning that tell us standing out is dangerous. But the truth? Taking action is the only way forward. So here's my challenge to you. What's one idea you've been sitting on? What's stopping you from taking action? Write it down and say it out loud. And take one small step this week to move toward it. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you've been waiting for a sign to start that project, this is it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a review, and join me next Sunday where we're going to dive deeper into what happens after you take the first step. Why do so many people start and then stop? And how to push through the doubt and the resistance. You won't want to miss this. And until next Sunday, laugh when it's ridiculous, cry when it's real, and heal because you are worth it. And remember, nobody's coming to save you. It's up to you to learn how to fish yourself out of the fuckery. Love ya.
But looking back at my life, I wouldn't change. Even if I got the chance, I wouldn't start this life from scratch. I learned a lot from selling drugs and stabbing traps. It wasn't so fun, but knew how to act. Since I was young, I was surrounded by thugs. This is what they plan for me. I'm my worst enemy. I sorted them out, chose the family tree. I was a little different. My mother let me be. I had to figure it out. I had to learn to be elevated on my G's, breaking cycle centuries. Fuck your society. I was born to be free. Yo, they try to limit me, but now my dreams are vividly orchestrated symphonies. I made it